Hi, I'm Andrew Camphy. I run BetterSheets. I am the resident Google Sheets wizard behind BetterSheets.co, which is basically tools, templates, and tutorials for Google Sheet users. I'm going to tell you today about how that line, tools, templates, and tutorials for Google Sheets users, came to be only now in 2023. It is December 22nd, 2023, and I'm doing a retrospection of what happened in 2023, what was my goals at the end of 2022, and what are my goals now at the end of 2023. And that line, tools, templates, and tutorials, is the key. It used to be tutorials, templates, and tools. I used to say BetterSheets is a library of tutorials, templates, and tools for Google Sheets users. But now, in 2023, that's changed. It's now tools, templates, and tutorials for Google Sheets users. Very minor change, right? Seemingly, but it has been a year in the planning and a year in the doing. So I'm going to share with you and walk through for myself. I prepared this little text here, but I wanted to share with you also my reflections on this and my retrospection, because you're probably watching this on YouTube, and I might have put this public. I'm still 50-50 on it. If it's public, hi everyone. If you've never heard of BetterSheets before, I will give you a little bit of introduction about what BetterSheets was, how it started, and then we're going to go into 2022, because I think it's really interesting how it started. Right now, it's 2023. I launched BetterSheets in 2020. Actually, April 3rd, 2020, it had a lifetime deal of $30. I had literally 8 videos made. The original, like the very, very, very first seed of an idea of BetterSheets was a gallery of really cool spreadsheets. Think like Dribble with 3 Bs, Dribble, but for Google Sheets. Like, I have this perspective after I was in a startup for 5 years running it with Google Sheets. I became the director of digital operations, which meant I do all the Google Sheets. But I really coded these up, and they became customized internal tools to run the company and expand the company and automate the company. It was really incredible work I did over the first 5 years of that startup, and it's still running today. It's broadcasting 24 hours a day. It's a television station, multiple. We actually created 4 TV stations in 4 years, and they're still running. One is Q India, one is TBD.com. You can check it out. Those are still running now, and it's, oh my God, 10 years later. And they were running internally on Google Sheets. And so in 2020, I sat down and I wanted to launch something, and I thought, okay, let me create this gallery. And the moment I started looking for Google Sheets, other people's Google Sheets to put up and feature and talk about, I couldn't find any. Literally zero. And so what happened is I was like, well, let me just tell people or share with people my experience and share them my expertise of creating interesting, useful, deep, working, automated spreadsheets. I think I started with 8 videos that were fairly basic, but they helped you deal with a dashboard and stuff. Thing was, I launched it, and it took like 2 days to get the first sale, but that first sale was so magical. It was Carlos. I'll never forget his name. I'll never forget him. Carlos bought BetterSheets for $30, lifetime access. He still has that lifetime access now. It's 2023. I have 400 tutorials. I have tools, templates, all these kinds of things, and he still has access. What's interesting is within moments or minutes of buying it, watching the videos, he sent me a before and after of the spreadsheet he made. He was like, here's my spreadsheet from before, and now that I watch these videos, I went and made changes to it, and now here's my spreadsheet. And I was like, this works. This ideal works. And it didn't matter if it was going to scale. It didn't matter if it was going to anything else. Because someone bought the videos, used the videos, and immediately had an impact on themselves, on their own sheets, I was like, this is going to work. But it wasn't until like the end of 2021 that I went full time on it. And then I got distracted by a different SaaS product I built in like 5 days. And then I got like a job, and I was like, it took like a year and a half of me trying to figure out if I would actually do this full time. But in 2022 was the first time I really, really went full time. From April 2022, I launched BetterSheets. This is actually what it looked like in sort of the first member login. Before it was a Gumroad. So how I launched it was a Loom folder and a Gumroad sales page. And I had this page here, like BetterSheets.co. This was BetterSheets.co, just to push you to this Gumroad page. But in April 2022, I created this site, which is built on Ruby on Rails, and it features a way to track your progress. It features a lot more stuff. And I even, at the end of 2022, literally like the very last days, I started creating courses on other sites. I started making tools. I created my first Google Sheet add-on. And so this is what it looks like now today. It has 400 tutorials. So like just at the end of, we can see at the end of 2022, I had 241 tutorials. And now at the end of 2023, I have 438 tutorials, 32 courses. And those are courses and topics. Those are sort of both linear videos set, those are courses, and non-linear set courses, which are videos, which are like, okay, you can watch these types of videos, but not necessarily in any particular order. So that includes both courses and topics, and 20 tools. This is probably the most important thing here of this year, and why the huge change in the mind shift change of BetterSheets and running this company or thing, whatever, and I'll get into a little bit in our retrospection. But huge changes, right? Again, it was 8 courses, 241 videos. I was pushing the number of members. I had all these topics covered to some degree, and I was charging $19 a month. I think only like 10 people bought that. I think somebody bought the yearly, actually, even though the lifetime was cheaper than the yearly. That was weird. But now you can get everything for $9 a month, and you can get the lifetime for $225 as of this moment. But in the next few weeks, it will change. Mark my words. Few weeks, yeah, weeks. Okay, so let's see what elicited all this change. So at the end of 2022, I launched on Udemy a course. I published the formulas directory, which is 500 pages of each individual Google Sheets formula, and then all the videos that I have tied to, that feature that formula. That I launched at the end of 2022. I thought that was going to go bangers. I thought that was going to be amazing, and it was not. But I did create my first Google Sheet add-on, and I also started, well, this was the second try at this. I did a why did you buy survey. I asked members, why did you buy BetterSheets? To understand what were people using, what were people missing as well. I had so many tutorials at the time. I thought 200 plus, now 400 plus. And I thought, one, what are people missing that they could get out of it, that they are, maybe some others are getting out of it, but also what else should I be making? What are these gaps in what they bought it for and what exists? I wanted to find the gap in there. So I created a survey. And that's been extremely helpful. That survey actually predated the course. So I created a workshop called Spreadsheet Automation 101. Then I created the course for it and launched that on Udemy. Okay, so in January, basically I was doing content. I was trying to figure out what works. I was trying to get more and more marketing out there, people searching for me. I thought I was doing SEO at the time. We'll get into that later. I was pushing 3 videos a week on YouTube because for about 2 months in 2022, I created 1 new video a day on YouTube. I had rolled that back a little bit to 3 videos a day, 3 videos a week. And I was also publishing 3 blogs a week. The issue with the blogs, though, now I can see this in plain sort of hindsight. The problem with the blogs is they were not original content. It was my videos turned into blogs. And I think that's okay for like 1 of the 3, but not all 3. And I think I could have had a better overall strategy and different tactics with the blogs. I did really just try one thing because I was focused on video at the time. And you can also see the output of that video, right? I have now 400 tutorials. But the main thing that I truly tried to do in 2023 was SEO and turn tutorials into tools. There was lots of things that I wanted to share, ideas that I thought, this is a better way to make a sheet. But the problematic part of that was you had to follow all of the instructions and you had to watch the entire video to get the full thing. A video that I make takes as long as it takes to do it to make it, because I record on Loom and then I can edit sometimes. So it takes maybe 20% to 50% longer to publish a video than it takes to like record it. Not that much. But a tool, however, is going to have bigger impact on the people who use it because it's going to be used immediately and for a long time. So I noticed in 2023, this is going to sound crazy to people who are not as good at spreadsheets as me, but I forgot a lot of stuff. I would go back to old tutorials and be like, oh yeah, that's a thing you can do. After making so many tutorials, I just forgot a lot of things. And I was like, wait, this was super useful. This was super exciting at the time. And I thought, well, everybody should be doing this in a sheet, like creating a cool button or styling the background as you're working. If you're working in data entry a lot, you get sort of headaches from the white background. And I was like, gosh, somebody should make a tool that just does this in one click instead of having to watch this video again. And it was me. That was the answer. I made it. So I created at the end of 2022 sheet styles. That's on the Google Sheet add-on marketplace. You can get it for free. I also in February created Tiny Sheets, which is deletes all the unnecessary rows and columns. There was also button styles like I released in February. So I now have 3 tools. In February 2022, I now have 3 tools available. By March, I have now actually seen all of the fruit develop from the SEO things that I did about 3 months earlier, 3 to 6 months earlier. And I'll tell you, by March, I had given up on SEO. I thought, oh my God, this is not going to work. I've been publishing so much, and just the way that I've been doing it is not working. But time told a different story, and in March, I finally saw the fruit of those labors. And so I was like, oh, wait, I shouldn't give up on this so easily. And so I did a lot of on-site technical updates through SEO, and those changes didn't see results until 3 to 6 months later. So you'll I can only summarize this, and there was like an ebb and a flow to my energy towards SEO, but it always was up and to the right. I was like, okay, each time it was a higher high, not a lower low. That is until the end of the year when I figured out something was very wrong with my strategy, which I'll tell you later. I did launch Adventures in AI. This is sort of debatable if this is a success or not. I'm not sure yet. I have a friend who is now going through this course right at this moment. It's the end of 2020, and he absolutely loves it. He does not stop telling me how much he likes that I have the code written to integrate AI into a sheet, and that it's not about dealing with AI. It's about literally dealing with AI in a Google Sheet and showing you through many different projects how you can organize and architect your sheet to do different things, how you can use AppScript in certain ways to write data. You can use it to write blogs in very organic ways, but using AI. You can also run like 100 ChatGPTs. You can do prompt engineering. So one of the things that I was doing myself was I was writing a prompt and then had to edit that prompt in a number of different ways, but I did not know how to edit that. So I was like, well, let me try 5 different ways or 10 different ways, and I want to see the result of each one. And then from that, edit another 5 or 10 ways, and I want to see what the result of that is. So that's like 10 times 10, it's like 100. And if I did that by hand in ChatGPT, it would take me all day. But I was able to do it in a few moments by creating sort of these different ChatGPTs across a row, if that makes sense. I don't think I did a very good job of advertising or marketing this course. I think the name Adventures in AI is not good. Ben Collins came out with AI Playbook, way better name, but I also don't think he would have done all of the creative stuff. And I think Playbook is a nice word, but I think the project-oriented version of this course is the way to go, because you get sort of each video is a small win. You get to create something and you learn a new thing within that creation. Even if the creation is not something you actually would use, you would learn some new thing. And that's the BetterSheets ethos here. I am always trying to do very weird sheets, but you learn something very special by going through this machination, by going through this project. You always end up with seeing a new side of Google Sheets, or seeing a new feature you can use, or a new formula in a new and interesting way, even though the result and the project you're making is sort of silly or funny or weird in some way. And I want to really turn that dial up in 2024, but we'll see how it goes, because I've been really excited about the tools. April, I hit my actual revenue goal at the moment, which is not the same now. But at the time, lifetime revenue, I wanted to get to 200K. That meant I got like 36K in the first year. And that's not I got. It generated because I have AppSumo that takes 30% cut. Udemy takes a huge cut now. There was lots of other things that were going on, right? And I was spending a lot of money. But then K in the second year and then 98K in the third year. It got me to 200K lifetime revenue by April 3rd. Literally 3 exact years later, I made 200K total. If you see any interviews with me and it says 200K a year, sorry, that's wrong. I've been trying to edit those. It's not me writing that. I always write, you'll read it in the interview, I'll say 200K within the first 3 years. And on April 1st, I released probably what I think is the coolest thing I've ever made, which is a VisiCalc clone. Gosh, I just thought this was the coolest thing ever, but I am such a spreadsheet nerd and a geek and like a weirdo, spreadsheet weirdo that, of course, it checks off all of my checkboxes. It crosses all Venn diagrams of who I am, what I do, and not everybody is the same as me. And so I had some people who were literally older than me ask me, what is VisiCalc? And I was like, it was the first spreadsheet software, quote unquote. So that was very interesting that it was an April Fool's joke. Okay, so I set this up because I wanted to create an April Fool's joke that was actually useful. Like it worked. Like whatever the thing was that like, oh, this is a funny thing, it worked. And so I ended up doing this VisiCalc clone, which is a working version of VisiCalc inside of a Google Sheet. I coded it all up myself. I essentially programmed it in AppScript. I think it's one of the most amazing things I ever made. But it did not go very well. People were like, what is VisiCalc? Literally, the whole consensus was, what is VisiCalc? Learn my lesson. Next April Fool's Day, I might do something else differently and do it differently. But again, like this is an ethos that I had in 2022, which is build tools, build things that are useful, build something, make something. In May, I created Spintax because I needed it. Okay, so Spintax is crazy. You can format with like curly brackets, these like word clouds that'll essentially pick one out of the word cloud and then put in different variations. And oh my God, I was dying for something like this. I was trying to do a lot of content the content itself was not the same, but it had a similar architecture, and I needed to spin through one of these like variables many times. And I needed to be able to enter those variables in programmatically. And it was like, Spintax is the answer, but then there was no Spintax in Google Sheets, so I made it. Also, May was my first YouTube dollar after 3 years on YouTube, and actually a career in YouTube. I used to do influencer marketing on YouTube. I used to do, literally the startup that I made was licensing YouTube videos. I made YouTube videos with my friends in LA, and we had a ball doing it. We were doing comedy, we were doing travel, we were doing all kinds of stuff. And finally, in May 2022 was the very first YouTube dollar I made. It was very magnificent. Made partner program, monetized BetterSheets, and up until a month ago, I was making about $1 a day. So, yay. New revenue stream unlocked in 2022. That was really cool. In June, I released a course on how to publish a Google Sheet add-on. Now, this is going to sound weird, but I feel like I should not have made a course. Or rather, I should have made this free in some way, I think. But don't quote me on that because I'm like 50-50 on this now. But basically, it was a full course on every step it took to create and then put on the marketplace and publish a Google Sheet add-on. It was my sixth, I created my sixth one, and I said, I don't know if this one is going to go through. Like, I've done this 5 times, and every single time, the process is so confusing and convoluted, and it takes so many tries, and you get so many roadblocks and so many challenges that I was like, I said, I wish there was someone who could just like hold my hand through the process. Alice Keeler was the closest one because she made not a checklist, but an article that went through it. But even that article was not complete because it didn't go over the psychological aspects of it. I really struggled psychologically and mentally over how to publish add-ons. There got to a point where it was rejected. I saw the email rejected, and I almost gave up. I say almost gave up because I used to just give up. But I made it through 5 times, and I was like, all right, I think I could help people here. I think I could truly, truly help people. And so I made this add-on course that I walk through every single step. I showed you the rejection emails. I showed you literally the website. I even gave you the template of the website that I use to make it super easy. Like certain parts of it seemed very difficult, but I made it like a 10-minute job. Like you just walk through this for 10 minutes and get it done. I really simplified the entire process. And so that process was done, videotaped. I recorded the whole thing as I did it. And now I have 6 Google Sheet add-ons. I also created one of the earliest tools that I will say helped me conquer my Ruby on Rails anxiety, my own coding and programming anxiety. In June, I made a button that gives you a random formula. If you go to tutorials or BetterSheets.co formulas, both of these have it. So this is random formula. You just click here, take you to a random formula, learn something new. The tutorials also has a random tutorial. I thought this would be really, really cool. But I don't know really how many people are using this. It's just random. But it helped me overcome my anxiety of coding my own website and adding tools and little things inside the site. In July, I created a actual tool, bettersheets.co/copy, which takes the URL of any Google Sheet and it'll add /copy at the end. The issue is that some people, I know this because people that are BetterSheets members have asked for this, they go, I don't know which parts of this sheet URL to delete. And again, this is my ethos that I wanted to do in 2023, and I've accomplished it, which is I have a tutorial on this. I show you, just take off this edit part and add /copy. But you have to walk through the entire video, that's the whole thing, just saying that and doing it. But this does it in one click. So that's a very simple version of this, but it was one of my earliest on-site tools that I think is really, really useful for those who just don't understand exactly what to edit or are insecure or scared about editing the URL and they'll do it wrong. So I wanted to make a tool that just does it every single time without fail, and that happens. In July, I actually passed 400 tutorials. Just realized. That's pretty cool. And then I created a second survey here, not asking how you use BetterSheets, but how you use spreadsheets. And I came up with some interesting findings for me personally, which is essentially that the difference between beginners and advanced users are not just what they use and what they know, but how deep they use spreadsheets and how deep they use the menus. I also noticed that more advanced users are more likely to use Google to answer questions and ChatGPT. So that's two things that they're using Google Sheets in more and deeper ways, as well as using more tools to understand how to do things and get through things faster than suffer through, I don't know how to do that, and stop. That's how you go from beginner to advanced. You start using tools to get you there. And you just go deeper, 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 which is what BetterSheets does. It gets you really deep into spreadsheets. By popular demand, I launched OnlySheets 2.0, added some cool features, and combined a bunch of stuff. Basically, I had sold OnlySheets as a add-on to Gumroad, but I had also created a version of it for Stripe and was sort of giving that out lackadaisically, like some people asked for it, so I gave it to them, but I wasn't selling them together. Now, OnlySheets 2.0 has everything. And I also made one version for Zapier. Combine all that, so OnlySheets 2.0 has everything there and added a couple of cool features. And so launched it as 2.0. And my God, people love that. People love OnlySheets paywalling your Google Sheets. But I have to say, in that month, that was not the best thing I made. The best thing I made in that month was I created a sheet, a testimonial sheet that you can embed a URL on your site. Well, two things. You can add a link to your site to give a testimonial, but also embed a little JavaScript code that will take the results and approved testimonials and put them on your site automatically. This was awesome. This is like a whole SaaS in and of itself. There are versions, Senja is one of them that's doing pretty well. There's a few other testimonials.2. These are full SaaS products that I recreated in a Google Sheet using just a little bit of code. I am super proud of this, and nobody cares. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be the coolest thing. I really thought, oh my God, this is going to be a whole new tool that I can sell. This is a whole new SaaS product that I can do with Google Sheets and stuff. Nope. People just don't care. Also, I have to start saying that it's not that people don't care. It is also how I frame these things. Sometimes I don't actually productize them and put them on a page separately. I think this testimonials one is actually just a tutorial, and then I give you the code for BetterSheets members. So that might be something that I work on in 2023, is productizing a lot of these things that I'm building in a Google Sheet, which I do sometimes. You'll see later. I have one that's absolutely productized. In September, I created another Onsite tool that I'm super proud of, which is bettersheets.co/PDF. This one, there are URLs you can create of your Google Sheets URL that immediately when someone clicks it, they will download that sheet as a PDF. It is one of the coolest things ever, one of the coolest features that Google Sheets has. You can create this URL. Every time you go to Google Sheets, let's search for Google Sheets PDF options, you can get all of these, but there's not a tool. It's funny that I'm at number one here, but there's not a tool that does this for you. It tells, these articles tell you how to do it, but now bettersheets.co/PDF actually does this for you. So you just click the selections what you want that PDF to look like, and it will generate the URL for you. It's really, really awesome. I think it's one of the coolest things I ever made. I did consider a new course in September, trying to build like an MVP, because I was making more and more tools in Sheets that could be sold productized, and I thought, okay, let me create a little course on sharing how to do this and how to add a few stuff, sort of a 2.0 version of Google spreadsheet automation. But when I considered this and I sent this out to members and I said, I'm considering this course, what are your questions? The almost only question I got was how to integrate APIs. It was so weird. It was like person after person after person was like, oh, I want to know how to use this API. I want to use how to use this API. I want to know how to integrate it with this thing. And I was like, wait, that's the question? Like, you don't actually want to build a tool and sell a tool. You really just want to access some API with Google Sheets. And so then I captured all of the projects and videos in which I used an API and put those into a brand new course called Supercharge Your Spreadsheets. That's available on BetterSheets. And then in October, I took that concept plus the AI in Google Sheets course, and I added it all to one course on Udemy. I optimized Udemy. Basically, up until this moment, Udemy was like doing less than $50 a month. It was just not doing well, and I had a bunch of courses. None of them were ranking very well. So I chose Spreadsheet Automation, renamed it to Master Spreadsheet Automation, took it from a 3-hour course to a 16-hour course, put everything I could into that course to get you from zero to hero on automating your spreadsheets and using APIs, using AI. It's all within one thing, Master Spreadsheet Automation, and it's worked. Within a month, I was doing more than $100 a month on Udemy. This worked. Optimizing for one course absolutely worked. Also created one of the most perplexing things I've ever created, which is solving one of the most perplexing things ever, which is regex, or regular expressions. These have stymied me before. They have stopped me before when I'm like, oh, all I need is a regex to solve this. But now I have bettersheets.co/regex matcher, which does regex matching, generates this automatically. And I also have my own Google Sheets formula generator, so I can generate any formula from any use case that I have. I built all of these in October and November, and actually more like October, I built these. And I think these are the best tools I've ever created. And it was finally solidified in October, my goal of 2023, which was to create these tools that absolutely helped you in your spreadsheet life. So better sheets and better life in spreadsheets. And this was the icing on the cake, the nail in the coffin. These tools have become the main focus for me. There's formula generator, sparkline generator, regex, conditional formatting generator. I have the PDF. I have the copy URL. I even have embed sheets to site. So it's native embed code for your website. So if you want to embed your spreadsheet into your site, there is a feature of it inside Google Sheets, but I do this. I get you the code automatically with any URL. Super cool. SheetShot takes a screenshot of your Google Sheets. Again, a little simple thing that I made for selling spreadsheets, which actually is a new course I'm making in 2024. November, I redesigned the tool site. If just like you see here. And then based on this, I redesigned the whole site to make it nicer, cleaner to look at and use and peruse. I also did a huge Black Friday deal where it was an entire 8 days of deals, huge discounts on individual tools, and I changed my pricing to $9 a month for everything. Oh, well, not everything, sorry. I should not say for everything. It's not $9 a month for everything. $9 a month if you want to use these tools. It's like the formula generator, $9 a month, you get that. Plus, for no extra charge, you get every single video tutorial, every single formula tutorial that I have here. And if there is a spreadsheet used in the video, you get that spreadsheet for that $9. It's the best deal because normally they're like some formula bots. They're $9 a month just for the formula bot, but you get also the library of tutorials and templates. I also, in November, created bettersheets.co/templates, which is going to be way awesome. It is really cool now because it's hundreds of sheets that I found on Etsy, Gumroad, and TikTok. Most of them are paid right now, but there'll be free ones very soon. In fact, this big year one that I just made, big year, this is free. This is a template that I just made. I'm going to be adding that to the template gallery. This one's free, big year. It's one page, one PDF you can print out from a single tab with the entire year, all 12 months, every single day. Really cool. And in December, I've declared SEO dead. For those who are watching about business this video, what happened is at the end of 2022, I said, okay, I'm going to work on SEO. I know through 2023, I've been working on SEO off and on and really seeing the results. We can see here, this is 2020 here, and this is 2023. This 2023 is up and to the right all year, 1 million impressions, 30,000 clicks. And what happened is I realized that chart after a year is not also synonymous with my revenue. It is not, that SEO is not driving any sales. I was like, wait, why? It's because a year ago, I chose the wrong strategy. I went for tips and tricks. People who are reading those blog posts that I'm writing and then getting ranked very well on Google Sheets are not buyers. And they're really strange terms that show up. Sometimes it's exactly what I wanted. It's like errors with your VLOOKUP, errors with unknown range, errors in app script, those kinds of things I'm ranking very well for, but those users are not buying more learning. They're trying to learn what to do, but they're not going to buy extra learning. So I realized that SEO idea is dead. And so I'm switching my SEO this year to something more sellable. Actually, you can check it out. sellingspreadsheets.com gets you a Google Doc that I lay out a new course that I'm creating. You can check it out. This is about 25% done at this moment, December 22nd. I lay out the entire curriculum, every single video, and have some FAQs here. But check it out. It's about how to turn your Google Sheets into sellable products. It's something that I continually do myself, and I will be continuing to do in 2024. As I said, there are some really cool things that I've made for members that is just a tutorial on how to do it, but I'm going to be productizing those and putting out many more little products and things, including tools on the site. So the overall, I think I have a few very big wins. I created 10 on-site tools, and so I overcame the issue of tips and tricks. I created 10 on-site tools, 6 Google Sheet add-ons. My revenue is absolutely asynchronous, which is actually something I wanted to do. So that asynchronous meaning it is not tied to my time. I'm not selling $1 per minute. What is happening is people are able to get a ton of value from the tools and things that I create that are available 24 hours a day. I also overcame my own personal Ruby on Rails, CSS, and SEO anxiety. Those that I'm not good at those are totally gone. I'm able to code my own website. I'm able to make it look nice and feel nice with CSS, and I'm also able to get that known well through SEO. My issue with SEO was I absolutely worked. The strategy that I put in place, I executed very well, but the strategy was wrong. The key terms that I was optimizing for were the wrong terms, and so now I just have to find the right terms and optimize for those. But the optimization part of it, totally fine. Have no longer any anxiety over doing that. Also, what I have not written here, but I do have examples of, is I have 2 new revenue streams. If you're watching this for business side, I mean, I'm in my 4th year of this business, and I've just added 2 revenue streams, which total about $2,000 in the last year, which is roughly 2 to 4% of my revenue in this year. I don't think I'm going to make 98K again. I think I'm going to make around 50 to 60 to 70K, but not in the calendar. Yeah, maybe in the calendar year. So 2K out of that, yeah, is about 2 to 4%. Not a huge thing, but if you're looking at it from zero, it's absolutely huge. And it's 2 revenue streams that are just going to keep on going. Not passive income, but mind you. Why I say keep going is not because they'll passively grow. It's because I can keep adding a video anytime I want. So it's asynchronous and autonomous. I can keep adding to YouTube as much as I want. I'm actually investing about 3 times, about $800 into YouTube in the first 6 months. So we'll see what happens there. I hope to triple my revenue there in the first 3 months of 2024. Udemy, I am optimizing for now. You can see this chart is going up and to the right very, very well. It's going to become around $100 to $200 a month as of now. But every time I optimize it and add to those courses, I think it'll keep getting better. I'm already ranking on the top. I'm ranking on the page for Google Sheets courses on Udemy. So I think putting myself 1 to 2 places higher per month is going to get me very, very, very good returns. And again, it's asynchronous work. So I can work on this anytime I want. I can create a new course. I can create add-ons to courses. I can add new features to the courses, which I am doing. I'm actually going to be polling a bunch of teachers. I have a bunch of friends that are teachers, and I'm just going to pick their brains over the next few months on other ways to teach than the lecture series that I have now. So it's been 40 minutes. I want to thank you for watching this entire video. I hope in 2024 that I'll be able to optimize things like YouTube and Udemy. My site is going to have many more tools, but they're going to be tied more and more together around selling spreadsheets. That's my goal now, to release that course. I also have OnlySheets, which is doing very well. I have 100 free business ideas. If you're watching this and never bought anything from me, go check out 100 business ideas that I have. It's literally 100 ideas of Google Sheets you can build. I don't just tell you the idea. I also give you an example, and I give a little breakdown of what kind of skills you need to build that, or what kind of experience you may have to build it, and how you might market that. Oh my God, it's really intense. I'm going to be optimizing that in the next couple months, because I think it's one of the greatest resources I've ever created. I think it helps people understand that there's probably a Google Sheet in your Google Drive already that's sellable, and you just need to make a few changes to it and put it up on Gumroad or Etsy or TikTok. I'm happy that BetterSheets now is tools, templates, and tutorials for Google Sheet users, and not anymore just tips and tricks and tutorials. I think that switch has made it absolutely more robust, has created a huge moat. If anyone is interested in doing this kind of thing, they're really going to have to something brand new to the world. I think there's a lot of people in the spreadsheet world that are doing tips and tricks, and that is doing something good. But I think my place here is going to be creating more and more cool tools inside of Sheets for Sheets users. And we'll see 2024 how that goes. Hopefully in the YouTube world, we do really well. Udemy, we do really well. To asynchronous places to do really cool stuff. Because I think if I can take a week or less, sometimes these tools are built in a day, literally built in a day. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, but a lot of these tools are definitely built in a day. And I can create more, better, and more useful tools. I hope. I mean, I'm really excited about 2024. I hope you are too. A lot of creative energy coming from BetterSheets, and I'm excited, really excited to get to it. Like, I have a new course 25% of the way through. I have tons and tons more tools that I can build, a lot of tutorials that I can turn into tools. And if this truly is the way to go, then it is the only way. The only thing I'm going to be doing for 2024 is building more and more tools. So get ready. Get set. Let's go. I'm happy to answer all the questions you have down in the comments below here on, I'll probably put this on YouTube. So that first thing that I said, yeah, it's probably on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe because I'm going to be releasing some really funny, interesting videos, I think, in 2024. Having this creative energy to blast through and get to you. Bye.